is super loud. Hey, y'all, welcome to Chair Tai Chi. Today's a 1 hour class. You need to leave early, please do so, but be sure to hit that survey before you leave class, okay? That's our pain and distress survey. Tell us what your pain levels are, beginning of the class, end of class, your stress levels, 0 to 10 scales. Very important to fill out that information if you can. Please, thank you. Okay, I'm going to stand up, move this chair out of the way. I'm going to go to the back of the room, so let me do that. And y'all know that I like to talk, so that's going to happen, all right? So I'm coming here to the back of the room. Today, you only need one chair and make it one that you can sit down and do your chair Tai Chi with. So I'm making sure I can see myself in the camera. Let me bring a leg out. Okay, I think we're good. We don't do any standing here, but some folks do some of this standing, so that's perfectly fine. So to start our chair Tai Chi class, as we do with any other Tai Chi class, we start with the bow. So that's that right fist. Y'all have to figure out which one that is. And then do that left flat palm. So this is the sun, and this is the moon. And we bow down to one another to start our chair Tai Chi. Very good. So on Veterans Yoga Project, we do breathing, mindful movement, meditation, guided rest, relaxation, and that gratitude practice. Some of what we do physically when we breathe with the movements, move with the breathing, is that mindful meditation stuff, at least in the classes that I teach. But we're going to start first with the breath. So we're going to do what's called the Dantian breathing. So in this breath, you got to find your belly button. Okay, so find your belly button. Okay, so you found your belly button. Then you're going to take your 2 finger widths here at the knuckle closest to the palm, and you place that below the finger that's poking into your belly button. And, of course, you can't quite see that because but just believe me, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your finger out of your belly button and go below the 2 finger widths. So that is what is called the center of your dantian, or what's called the Sokumen point. It's an acupressure point. And you take the middle of your palm, going to place it there in the middle. So this is your guide to let you notice if your belly is expanding as you breathe in and if it's contracting as you exhale. Now my belly, because it's kind of big, doesn't move much on the inhale, but I really try to draw it in on the exhale. So this is a breathing method to improve cerebral spinal fluid flow, which helps lessen dementia. So that was the clinical study that I was participating in last week. So place the other hand above that, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And then I invite you to breathe in, push that belly out as if you're expanding a balloon. Breathing in through the nose if you can. And then as you exhale, really draw that belly button towards your spine. To really contract it. Very good. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. Chest expands also, by the way. And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in, belly big. And exhaling. 1 more time. Inhaling, belly expands. Here we go. And exhaling. So this low belly breathing also helps to facilitate lowering your blood pressure and lowering your heart rate. So there's several other additional benefits that help with that. So we're going to start today. Today, let's just go ahead and bring a leg out to the side. We're resting on the back of the heel. I'm doing my class today in my little Earth Runner sandals. You can be barefoot, have socks on, have shoes on. Be comfortable, okay? This is a calf contraction. So when we hold a yoga posture, a Tai Chi posture, for at least 30 seconds with strong muscular contraction, that stimulates bone growth. So we're actually doing a bone density enhancer here. I was also in the bone study with Dr. Lauren Fishman, 12 yoga postures for building bones. We did DEXA scan. We did the vigorous holding of the poses at those 12 yoga postures, and then a DEXA scan afterwards to see the improvement of the bone density. I think we've held it quite enough. Point the toes away. So you may be feeling your contraction energy still maybe in the calf, maybe in the back of the knee. If you need to bend that knee, bend the knee a little bit. Maybe feeling it in the side hip, depending on what your challenges are today. And then we're not going to hold this part of the posture, but we're going to start a little bit of movement. So let's point and flex. This is also an opportunity to lower your blood glucose because you're doing the calf pump. University of Houston study here about 1.5 years ago proved that calf pumping reduces your blood sugar, reduces your blood glucose numbers. So if you can't do that walk immediately after your meals, maybe you can sit at the table and do those calf pumps, okay? This also helps with lessening leg cramps and that type of thing too. And I think we got a few of those under our belt now. So let's bring that leg in and let's do the other side. Again, bring the leg out, kind of wiggle it, jiggle it out there. And again, you're resting on the back of the heel, but you're inviting the toes towards you. Again, if it's too strong in the back of the knee, you can kind of bend that knee a little bit, but you're still toes towards you, heel pushed away for that muscular contraction of that calf muscle. Might feel spicy, maybe back off just a little bit, or like I say in the yoga class, return your attention to the breath. So kind of like a redirection of the senses. So breathe in and then slowly breathe out. So sometimes listening to the breath and kind of feeling the air going in and out redirects your strong sensations. Sometimes it doesn't help at all. Just know that, okay? I think we've held it. I think I've talked a lot. So let's point the toes away. Woo! Again, notice what you notice. Does this side feel a little different than the other side? Maybe. Or maybe you're going, well, I don't know. And that's okay too. Yeah. And the yoga and the Tai Chi kind of helps a lot with building more body awareness, you know, left versus right, lower versus upper. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Now let's pump. Let's pump. Here we go. And my shoe is weirdly on the carpet. Doesn't work well on carpet, but on the, you know, kind of the non-carpeted floors, there's a little bit more kind of action that can happen here. Again, notice what you notice. That's something spicy. Return to the breath. Beautiful. Very good. And bring that leg in. Again, the 2 classes I'm teaching is Chair Tai Chi Ball Qigong and the 6-week standing series for Tai Chi. Tip your toe into beginning Tai Chi if you've been curious about that or want to know the version that I teach. So we're going to do swimming dragon. So press your hands together. And, you know, folks, I'm away from the back of the chair, so I'm engaging those tall posture muscles. I invite you to come a little bit more forward on your chair if it's available, okay? So let's breathe in. Again, belly out. Now contract that belly button. Push the hands one direction. Turn the head the other. Swimming dragon. Range of motion, softening those neck muscles, those shoulder muscles. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, back to the center. Staying here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away, turn the head the other direction, push the hands away. Notice what you notice. Can you turn your head more or is it less? Yeah. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Let's do one more each side, but stay here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Hands one direction, head the other. Kind of lowers those shoulders a little bit. I always tend to hunch my shoulders. That's okay. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Good. Stay here, inhaling. And then exhale, push it away. Other side. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, back to the center. We're going to do what's called the finishing breath. It's a little different than yoga. So we're going to inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And when the hands come up to the top, your hands are on like on top of a ball, and you're bringing down the energy down to the heart center. So it's like you're bringing down that little ball of energy back down kind of in this area of the Danti end. Very good. Excellent. Let's do Atlas point rotation. Again, you may hear some crinkly things going on here. We're going to take our nose and draw a circle. Now, if this makes you feel dizzy, you can have your eyes look forward as you're doing the nose drawing the circle. You get a little extra benefit when you do that. That's a little extra eye exercise. But if you don't have those vertigo challenges, maybe you can just have the eyes follow in the direction that the nose is going. Do you hear any little crinkly stuff going on? Probably. Is it more on the right? Is it more on the left? Or is it in the entire circle? Who knows? Yeah. Woo. And then pause. Let's take it the other way. Take that circle in the other direction. That's usually when I start to hear stuff. Ooh, on that left-hand side. So again, notice what you notice. If it's spicy, go a little slower, return your attention back to the breath, or make your circles a little bit smaller. That might help also. Woo. And let's do one more all the way around. And when you're ready, join me with the head back to heart center. Very good. We're going to take our hands, we're going to cup them and throw the arms down. And this is for your shoulders. You might feel some snap, crackle, pops. One side may be a little bit more able to do this than the other. Again, notice what you notice. And then let's tap the shoulders. So you're bending the elbows a little bit while you're doing this. We do this also in our standing Tai Chi class. So when you take that standing Tai Chi, you're going to go, oh, we do this in Chair Tai Chi. Oh, we do this in Chair. It's very similar, folks. 2 more. Here we go. 2 and 1. Very good. Let's do some shoulder rolls just again to kind of get some range of motion, some ease in those shoulders, and then kind of alternate those shoulder rolls. I like to do that because I get a little bit more into what I can do. And then let's reverse, go the other way. Feels weird the reverse way, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. We're going to do a little dowager's hump prevention. So what we'll do, one more, and then we're going to shrug our shoulders towards our ears. You're kind of squeezing the armpits. Make it look funny, okay? Feel that muscular contraction in the upper back. Then we're going to turn halfway to the side. Woo! And then release it down. That's the favorite part of that pose. Come back to the center. Let's do that again. So here we go. Shrug them up. Make them be like earrings, yeah? Y'all going, what? Turn over to the side. Ah! Does one shrug more up than the other? Maybe you don't know unless you look in the mirror, yeah? And release it down. Wow. Little shoulder shuffle. This is also a lymphatic drainage technique. We don't normally do that in the big 6, but it's an outside one you can do. And can be a little bit slower too. Very good. From here, we're going to shake our hands. We're doing wild goose flutter. So this brings energy into the wrists, the arms, into the fingers. And then maybe you can go straight out. Mine don't go quite as high straight out. But let's take one to the front, one to the side, and turn a little bit from the quad and the other. The quad is a term that we use in Tai Chi for turning side to side. And then let's bring it back to the center and down. So you have your hands hanging by your side. Notice if you notice any kind of sensation happening here. You might not. And I'm going to scooch over to one side of my chair, place my hand either on my hip or my shoulder, and let's do stir arms. And again, if you have spicy shoulders, maybe the hand on the shoulder is beneficial. You might feel a little bit more snap, crackle, pop going on, but hopefully it's not painful, okay? You don't have to be too big with this, but you're not doing the wrist. It's like leading from the shoulder, okay? Again, hand can rest also on the hip, but I like it on my shoulder on this side. Sometimes mine are ovals, circles, or amoebas. Irregular shape. Yeah, okay. And then reverse. Go the other way. Are there any little snap, crackle, pops going on today? Maybe. Very good. And make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Again, you might be noticing some little sensation going on. All right, scoot over to the other side of the chair. Mine's a big chair, so that I have to scooch. Now this one, I can place my hand on the leg and do those arm stirs. So this is actually an exercise I would do after I had my pacemaker put in, because they put you in a sling for about 2 weeks. So you don't like jerk the wires out of your heart, everything heals. And then you have to work your range of motion back. So I was really tickled to see, hey, this is a Tai Chi movement too. I really like that. They call it the arm dangle. And then let's reverse. Go the other way. Now you don't have to be as fast or as slow as I am. You do you, okay? Do what you can with what you got. I love it. We really kind of work those shoulders a little bit. Oh, yeah. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. And then come back to sitting up nice and tall. Let's do that finishing breath once again. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Hands as if they were on top of the ball, bringing down the energy from the heavens down to your dantian. Very nice. Or danjan. In Korea, we call it the danjan. So the martial arts I practice is Seokmun Hohi Hep, which is a Korean martial arts. All right. So next, let's once again take our cupped hands like we did when we swung the arms. We're going to do it's called spinal cord breathing. This is also kind of known as cat-cow in chair yoga. So we're going to inhale, elbows up, chest forward. And as you exhale, draw that belly button towards your spine. Bring your forearms as close as you can. Curve your spine to the back of the room. Forehead on those hands if you can. And again, inhale, elbows up, 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 up. So that's your cow version of chair, cat-cow. And then exhale, curve your spine for cat. And again, spinal cord breathing. Inhaling up. Exhaling, curve that spine. Now let's turn to the side. Get into those lungs. Inhaling up, 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 up. Exhale back to the center. Other side. Inhaling up, 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 up. Exhaling back to the center. Let's do that one more time, each side. Ooh, I'm burping. Inhaling up. This stimulates your colon and your digestive things, so that might happen. Air might happen. Exhaling. Last time, inhaling up, 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 up. Exhaling. And then let's do the finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. This time, though, we're going to bring the back of the hands down the heart center. This is called the blood pressure technique. Whether you have high or low blood pressure, it's like the equalizer. So here's the little heart, yeah. And then what you do next is you have your palms up, you take your thumb across, and you take your fingers and cover your thumb. So that stimulates those acupressure points for the heart meridian. Then you inhale, elbows back, chest forward, squeeze the upper back. And then you exhale. Now the arms go out to the side. So you kind of turn your arm out to stimulate that meridian that has to do with the pericardium, with the heart. So our arms are out to the side, and then we'll inhale, circle, sweep arms up once again. Exhale, bring them down the heart center, back of the hands, grab those thumbs, and then inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale, arms out to the side, turn those palms kind of weirdly out. Yeah, okay, good. Inhaling up, up, up. Exhale, hands down. Grab those thumbs. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale out to the side. One more time. Here we go. Inhaling up, up, up. Exhale, bring it down. Grab those thumbs as you're exhaling. Elbows back. Grab those thumbs, inhaling. Exhale, arms out to the side. Next is our finishing breath, maybe. Inhaling up. This time, make fists and bring them down to your waist. Next is eagle claw. So eagle claw, again, range of motion, you're noticing that. And we're going to be opening and closing the hand 5 times. So flex that hand, open and close. But we got to work up to that first, okay? Here comes some new neural pathways coming your way. So take your favorite fist, whichever one that is. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, open up that palm like a stop sign and press it forward. Inhale, back to the chest, spread out that hand. Exhale, out to the side. And we're going to open and close 5 times. Here we go. Eagle claw. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Switch sides. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that hand. Exhale, push it forward like a stop sign. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. You can look at it if you like. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Again, inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the palm. Exhale, press it forward. Excellent. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Open and close 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Increase the mobility in the upper body. Inhale, other fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hands. Exhale, push it forward. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Open and close 5 times. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then back to your waist. And let's do the finishing breath. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, 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 up. Exhale, bring down that energy back down to your dantian. Beautiful. Okay, excellent. Let's clap the hands. Oh, let's do that again. And rub some heat into those palms. Move it into the fingers. Since we've been doing a lot of stuff here for the shoulders, take one of your hands on the shoulder. Just give it a nice little heated hand rub. Sometimes taking a hand to an area that has a little aches and pains will lessen that aches and pains. So kind of experiment with that. And reverse your circle. Very good. Next is the big 6. We'll do the lymphatic drainage next. It's also known as the Qigong detoxing in our chair Tai Chi. Clap the hands again, because that other hand, do it again. The other hand got kind of cold, yeah? Woo! Like you're starting a campfire, okay? Okay, take that other hand to the other shoulder, again, gently. Now, sometimes I have to use my hand underneath to get this pacemaker side to go up to that shoulder. So just kind of know you do what you can do, right? Maybe you use that hand underneath to be able to reach that range of motion. And reverse. Also got like my cat bit me, so I had to get a Tdap shot. So this is my shoulder with the Tdap, and I'm like, okay, this feels good. I know, too much information, right? Okay, and release. So next is the big 6. So this also helps to get that cerebral spinal fluid flow to go down through the subclavian vein. So what we do first is we do here at the collarbone. So find your collarbone, you're gonna spread out your hands, and then above the collarbone and below, you stroke across. So this is based off the big 6 method from Dr. Perry Nicholson. You can also tap. This also stimulates, let me think here, the stomach meridian, trying to remember, the kidney meridian, and also the lung meridian. And you might swallow a little bit more because you're getting some drainage going on. So let's do the other side. So again, stroke across. Some folks do this in the shower, but they say do skin to skin or skin to clothing because it gets a little more friction, gets a little bit more stimulation of clearing those pipeways. Oh, yeah, lots of sinus drainage today. And again, tap, tap, tap. Very good. Now, I do recommend doing this one side at a time. Again, spreading out the hands, bring fingers in front of the ear and back of the ear, and then stroke down the side of the jawline and the side of the neck. So you got that cartoid there, so you don't really want to do both sides at the same time. And then I also try to go here, back here on the cervical spine 1 and 2, because there's lots of lymph node nests back here. So I go a little bit back behind my ear when I do this. So again, this is to encourage to have a clear pipe to get rid of those wastes, that cerebral spinal fluid. Yeah. Let's do the other side. Again, stroke it down. You can also tap, but tap a little bit less vigor when you're tapping is my recommendation. So, you know, it can be soft little taps. But I think and this is my personal opinion, I think the stroking across is a little bit more beneficial, but you know, that's my opinion. I don't have any data to support that. All right, next area is you got your thumb here in front of your chest, your pectorals, and your hand into your armpit. So you can squeeze, you can press up and down, or you can kind of do a little motion, or you can tap, tap, tap. So men and women that get breast cancer, they check, you know, here at the pectorals in the armpit to see if the cancer has moved to these lymph node nests. So let's just clear them, okay? Do you have a pit or a puff for your armpit? Notice what you notice. Is it tender? Usually a sign of maybe some inflammation. Let's do the other side. Again, you can take that little hand at a right angle and just press and squeeze here at the pectorals. It could be as simple as that, or you can dig for gold. Let's dig for gold. Tap, 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 or rub, 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 scrub, scrub, scrub. Now, when they did my heart surgery, I have side scars. So I also do my scars because if you have scars from, you know, some kind of injury or surgery, you got to kind of work those areas to make sure you have good lymphatic flow. Okay, so this is area 1, collarbone, area 2, the neck, area 3, the armpits. Number 4, it's kind of a combination here. So I find my ribs, and then here at that center place, I stroke across. So that's massaging my diaphragm. So sometimes I feel like my diaphragm is like really stuck up in there underneath the ribs. So this helps to kind of let that tension be a little bit less. And if this is a kind of a weird feeling for you, what you can do instead, and what we all can do now, is play your stomach. Your stomach is considered to be your second brain. You know, the gut is very related to what's going on with the brain. You can also chop if you like. You can just take the hands and kind of wiggle jiggle, whatever you like. If you're going to rub in a circular direction and to aid digestion and elimination, I would go here at the center, over to the left, and then down. So that, you know, it's, I guess it's called a clockwise motion. I'm not sure where the clock is when you do that, but anyway. So again, that helps aid digestion and elimination. All right, so the quad, I mentioned about the quad before. We're going to step our feet out like we're doing a sumo stomp, and where the leg inserts into the torso, that little crease there, the glenoid, I can't say the word, glenoid crease. Women, they get over ovarian, uterine cancer, men, prostate cancer. These are the areas I check. Did the cancer move to here? So let's chop the quad. Do the sides of the hands and chop. You can also take your fingers and stroke, but you know, at mixed company, we're just going to chop the quad, okay? Woo. And I am a little bit more vigorous when I do this. I don't know why, but it just, I don't know, just chopping that quad. You tend to have swelling and edema in the feet. This is also the 6 places that we're doing is beneficial for that. The last place is the back of the knees. We have lots of lymph node nests in the back of the knees. So again, you can take those right angles of your hands and go back here and gently chop, or you can take your fingers and stroke. If you have the Baker cyst, that might be better because sometimes that's kind of spicy. So you're doing some movement here at the bottom of the hamstring and the top of the calf, and of course the bend of the back of the knee. So again, this is the Qigong detoxing that we do in our Chair Tai Chi, in our beginner's Tai Chi. I like to do the one that's based on the big 6. So you go to other classes, it may be a little bit different, and that's okay. Couple more. Very good. And come back to sitting up tall, clap your hands. Let's do a little bit more for the knees. We're going to do some knee strengtheners. So rub heat into the palms, and then let's get the knees. Let's get this a little bit of heat on the knees. Be sweet, be kind, and maybe you come up on the finger pads. Hey, John, welcome to the class. And then let's take the palms and gently tap the outsides. That's for lessening knee pain. This is the gallbladder meridian in traditional Chinese medicine. Couple more. Very good. So for the knee strengthener, we scooch our booty all the way back in the chair. So scooch it back. Okay. Well, we do this in our gentle yoga class also. So we're going to lift a foot, toes towards you. I have to lift my leg because it feels weird on the chair. But toes towards you, heel flexed away, and then lower hover so it doesn't touch the floor, and then point the toes forward and release. If you need to guide it with your hands, that's okay too. Just know that. Flex that heel. Again, I'm going to lift my leg off the chair. Toes towards you, heel pushed away. You might feel spicy. Lower hover, and then point the toes. My foot just popped and went, and release. Other side, we're going to add on to it. So we're going to flex that heel, flex the opposite hand. So we're using both brains or both hemispheres in the brains, and then release it down. And then point the toes, point the fingers, and release. So upper and lower body kind of coordinating here. Flex the other foot, flex the other palm. Ooh, very nice. And then lower and point the toes, point the fingers, and release. One more set. Here we go. Flex the heel, flex both hands. I can do both hands really easy. And release it down. And then point the toes, point the fingers, and release it down. Other side. Here we go. Flex the foot, palms, woo, and lower. And then we're going to point the toes, point the fingers, and lower. Come away from the back of the chair once again. Clap your hands. Ooh, that was loud. Get your shins, get your calves if you can. The back of the legs, the top of the legs. Very nice. And let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Next is ankle isolation. So just worked on strengthening the knees. Now the ankle isolation is great for having better walking ability. So we're going to bring our ankle bones, our toe bones, our feet together. And then together we're going to heel toe out to the side. So kind of heel toe out to the side. And then this kind of upper body twisting kind of naturally happens if you want to twist the upper body. You might be noticing, left foot is a little bit more weak than the right. Maybe you don't notice it. I don't know. You notice what you notice, yeah? That's my behind's heating up on this chair. And then come all the way back to the center. So next is going to be feet out, toes in. So kind of like a little reverse penguin thing. And then we're going to independently walk them out and then walk them in. So here we go. Ooh, that's usually where I notice that left foot is not as strong as the right one. You can kind of tap the toes or the heels. Oh, yeah. Ooh. And then one more all the way out. Here we go. All the way in. Excellent. And then come up on the balls of the feet and just kind of stomp it to the floor. And again, up on the balls of the feet, shake the legs for lessening leg cramps. And again, stomp the feet and shake the legs. Beautiful. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up and bring down that energy. All right. So next one is swallow flies to the nest. It's a lot of folks' favorite one. But what we're going to do is take a palm up and let's inhale, bring it across. So feel that stretch in that side body when we do that. And then exhale out to the side. The feet a little wide here, okay? And then inhale up and over, kind of like side lateral flexion in yoga. And then exhale out in the front. And then bring it back to the center. Let's do the other side. Inhale, bring it across. Ooh, feel what it feels like on this side. Exhale out to the side. Nice. Inhale up and over. Stay in your chair. And then exhale out into the front. And back to the center. Now I'm going to add the little nursery rhyme to it. So here we go. Inhaling, swallow flies east. Bring it across. Exhaling, swallow flies west. Inhaling, swallow flies up and over. And lands in its nest. Bring it back to the center. Let's do the other side. Inhale, swallow flies east. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. And lands in its nest. Doesn't know directions. Let's do one more time. Inhaling, bring it across. Exhaling out to the side. Inhaling up and over. And exhaling down in front. Back to the center. Again, inhale, bring it across. Exhale, bring it out. Inhale, up and over. And exhaling. From here, you can take a sip of water. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. I'm going to make sure all the muting is off here. Very good. Sometimes I don't think I did that when we started class, but I'm doing it right now. Very good. Okay. From here, we're sitting up away from the back of the chair, and let's draw a circle in and do the other one. This is called parry. And I'm shifting my weight from one bun to the other. You may know it as wax on, wax off. Go as comfortable as you can with this movement. Also call it, wax my table. Please. My kitchen, my coffee table. And let's pause and then wipe it out. So we kind of cross the same area in the center. I don't know, which one do you like better, the wiping out or the wiping in? I think I go bigger when I wipe out. It's a weird thing. Yeah. And then let's bring it vertical, like we're wiping the windows. Hello, shoulders. Don't do this after you get a shot in your arm. Woo, or maybe you do. I don't know. And then let's wipe it in. There we go. There's that wax on, wax off. If you want it to be a little bit more vigorous, you have that option. You make fists and you bring the elbows across the set. It's called elbow digs. You might have air happening, like little burping, because we're kind of stimulating those internal organs when we do this. And let's bring it back on top, wiping it in, and then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very good. From here, we're going to do some Tai Chi forms. So we'll have our hands out to the side, palms facing forward. And it's called inward and outward. So no, actually it's the back of the hand. Sorry, not the palms forward. We're going to inhale, arms up. And then we have the hands facing us and we bring them out and down, exhaling. It's like you're floating through water. So again, float up with a bend in the elbows up to about shoulder height. Palms, fingers facing each other. Exhaling, draw it out, bring it down. Let's do that again. Inhaling, float it up. Exhaling, draw it out and down. One more time. Inhale, float. Fingers look at each other. Exhale, draw them out and down. Next is inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the energy. All right. Let's do a little sumo stomp here. So first is like taking it out to the side and center. So we're kind of oiling that hip joint. Now imagine that there's a golf ball or maybe a soccer ball on the floor and you want to step over that ball. So this is also one of those functional moves when you get in and out of the car. You always kind of know you have back pain when you're getting in and out of the car. One side feels a little more spicy than the other. If you want to add a little stomp for a little vibrational energy, a little bone building, please do so. You got bone spurs, plantar fasciitis, neuromas, maybe not stomping as hard. Maybe using your hands to increase your range of motion underneath to see how high you can get it with comfort, of course, right? And see what you can do just with your own muscular strength. One more. Very good. Let's do the other side. Again, first we slide. And then let's add some air to it. Again, you can use your hand or not. You want to try it without the hand to kind of understand what's going on with your hip complex, your structure there. And then maybe hand underneath to make it go a little bit higher. Good. Woo. Let's do two more. 2 and 1. Next is monk carries the flag. So we'll take one arm up here into the air and take your opposite arm down low, like you're hanging onto a flagpole. And you're plunking your flagpole into the ground. So plunk, and then you're sitting up tall, drawing the abdominals towards your spine. Lift the opposite knee up and stomp it down. Very good. Now we're switching. Here's brain work. Hand closest to you goes up. The hand goes across, goes on the bottom. So again, it's not in, it's a little bit more out. Stomp it down on the ground. Stomp. All right. Opposite knee up and stomp. Switch sides. Plunk it down. Plunk. Knee up and stomp. Very good. Switch sides again. Knee up and switch sides once again. Each side. Here we go. Plunk it down. Plunk. Knee up and stomp. Other side. Here we go. Plunk it down. Plunk. Knee up and very good. Let's come back to the center. Inhale. Circle sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Next is monkey stretch. So we're going to take a top of the toes, point them out towards the side of the room, and the hand, the arm that's on the same side of the leg, that's extended hand on that leg, take the other hand on top of and grab that wrist, and then inhale, up, 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 up. And then exhale, float it down and bring it in. This one's quite different when we do the standing version of this. So look forward to that, okay? So point the toes out, hand on the leg, hand grabs the wrists, inhaling up, 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 up. Exhale, float it down and bring it in. Let's do that again. So bring the other leg out, hand on the leg, grab that wrist, inhaling up. Try not to arch your spine too much. Just go where you can go. Exhale, float it down. bring the leg in, other side. So bring that leg out, hand on the leg, grab the wrist. Here we go. Inhaling up and exhale, lower down. Very nice. Bring it in. And then from here, we'll do a cross crawl. So basically take your right or your left leg and walk it forward and back. So again, we're using both sides of the brain. If you can add an opposite arm, or like you're kind of walking and you're pumping your arms, or maybe it's the same side arm. Anyway, do what you can do. Sit up tall. Okay, let's do two more. 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to change it up. From this, we're going to really draw that belly button towards your spine. Either tapping your hands on top of the leg lifts off, or underneath. You choose. Either tap or clap underneath. Be cautious, be kind. Again, brain work, both sides of the hemisphere, doing a little something different. Increasing the heart rate. 2 more. 2 and 1. Very good. Clap the hands, rub some heat. Let's take the palms or the back of the hands and rub the back side of the body. And then I usually do the back of the hands to get a little bit higher on my back side. But that's just kind of how, my physiology in my body is. And then move it into the hips, little circular motion. And then the knees once again. Excellent. Now I'm going to come up a little bit closer. We're going to do that a little bit of energy work now. So let me move the chair a little bit closer here. And we've already done the big 6. One of the things I was doing, of course, I was riding the airplane this past week, right? So we're going to do the jet lag technique first, and then we'll go into the hand tapping. So this is if you've, gone into a different time zone, or, done some travel. This helps get you to sleep a little bit better. So the first thing is to take your hand. You choose which arm to do this. I usually do the left because it's connected to the heart, but you rub your armpit. You do this for about 20 seconds. So this is a series of 3 different movements, okay? Breathing in and out. Now we've done this next one before. We'll see if y'all remember it. Okay, so the next one is the ear pulling. So, we have all these reflexology points on our ears. So I took my glasses off. We're going to be pulling the earlobes down. Again, this is for lessening insomnia. It's called the jet lag technique, and my ears are sweaty. Oh my gosh. And then you pull them out. When I do this, I feel like I can hear better. It's really weird, strange, yeah? And of course, you pull up. Now, if you got all these ear things going on, you may want to be cautious, right? Yeah. All right, let's do the earlobes again. Just remember this for later, though. Pull them down. You do it in a sets of 3. So this is the second set. And then pull those ears out to the side. Notice your hearing if it feels different. It might. And then ears up. Not ears up, but pull the ears up. Ears up. I know. Can we move our ears up? Some people can move their ears, yeah? Last time. Here we go. Pull them down. Woo. And then pull the middles, pull them out. And then pull up. Very good. Let me put my glasses back on. So the next one is, I'm going to come up a little bit. So you take your fingertips and then you tap your head. So all the meridians that are in our body come through the skull at some place. That could be up here kind of in the mohawk area. This also boosts your brain power. And then the sides of the head, the side thing, there's all these meridians that are in these areas. And don't forget that little bumpy part back here, a lot of lymph node nests there. Tap that part too. Again, it's not hard tapping, but you definitely, feeling some stuff here. Woo! Very good. So next we'll do our hand tapping. So this one's for lessening headaches and vertigo. We take the sides of the hands and we tap, tap, tap. We just do like a little sampler in class. But typically you would do this for about 60 seconds or a minute in length. Tap, 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 tap. And then we're going to do the interwebs of the hands. That's for digestion and elimination. So kind of tapping those little angles, those little webs. Trying to think of words and I can't think of them. Oh well. And then you normally do this one way. We're going to switch it. And again. But you're saying, wait, I don't normally do this. Well, you do in Chair Tai Chi. And maybe in some of the yoga classes I teach, yeah. Again, helps aid digestion and elimination. So now we're going to do the interwebs of the fingers. And if you got rings, be cautious, be careful. So that's for pain or numbness in the limbs. So again, gentle little tap, tap, tap in those little finger valleys. Now you do normally interlace your hands a certain way, yeah? You may not know that, but you're going to figure that out on the next move. So we're make it still and wiggle the top finger. Okay, got that figured out. Now we're going to make the other finger be on top. And that some folks, that just weirds their brain out. Okay, tap, tap, tap. So again, we're just creating new neural pathways when we do some of this work. It's a good thing. I hope it's a good thing. Yeah. So next is the pulse points. It's the heart cardiovascular issues. So right here at the pulse, some folks tap like this, but I like to tap like this because we do it twice. Now, some people will place it down on their leg and tap it, but when I do that, it's a little bit too much force because I, get kind of vigorous there. And then flip it and tap the other one. The next is the back of the hand for osteoarthritis for back pain. So you cup the hand, kind of like when we swung the hands, and then you tap on the side of the hands, especially if you have a ring. So tap, tap, tap. Makes a nice little sound there. And I got my cat bite on the other one, so I'm going to be really on the side on this one. So other one, it's not like it was on the other one. It doesn't make that nice little sound, but you know what? I'm not going to tap that cat bite. For the back of the hand or the back of the wrist, it's for neck and shoulder pain. So again, you may want to curve it if you have a ring. Now I've got a watch on the other one, so I kind of go a little bit below on the other one or above. Okay, punch in the palm, that helps lessen stress, improves clarity, consciousness. You may notice strength more on one side versus the other. So punch the palms. Let's do the other one. Here we go. Notice what you notice. Whew. Very good. So next is our guided rest and relaxation. So I do a non-sleep deep rest meditation. So we're going to scoot back in our chair. It's similar to the yoga nidras that are being done in the evenings here on Veterans Yoga Project. Dr. Andrew Huberman kind of came up with this term. It's like getting a reset in the middle of the day. All you have to do is listen to my voice. Your eyes may be opened. They may be gazing down at the floor. They may be closed. It's whatever is okay for you. If you need to move during this, that's okay too. Just know that, all right? So I have my feet a little wide. I got my booty kind of sticking into my chair, my back firm behind. And I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that means to you. Good. And in this guided rest, we're going to do, it's called the extended exhale breath. Again, it's one of those breath patterns that allows you to lessen that heart rate, lower the blood pressure. So it's very effective when you're getting your blood pressure taken in the office, in the doctor's office. So you breathe in to a count of 4 and you expand the belly. And as you exhale, again, you draw the belly button towards the spine to a count of 5. There's a pause in between the inhale and the exhale. If this weirds you out or, it's not cool for you, you go back to your normal breath, okay? And normally I look down at the floor or close my eyes or place my hands on my torso, relax those shoulders. Sometimes they kind of grow towards your ears, but relax them down. Good, okay. So here we go. And I'm going to clap to the count of 4 and the count of 5 to guide you how long to do this. So let's breathe in. We're pausing, and then slowly, slowly exhale. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. And then slowly exhale. Once again, inhale, belly big, make that balloon big. And then slowly, slowly exhale. One more time together. Let's breathe in. And slowly exhale. Good. All I ask you to do now is just notice your breathing. Don't change it anymore, anyway. Just notice, what does it feel like here to breathe in? What does it feel like here to breathe out? Now I invite you to notice the surface that's supporting you. Notice the weight of your feet on the floor, on the chair, where your behind is on the chair, where your backside is on the chair, or whatever surface that's supporting you at this moment. So you're feeling very weighted, very heavy into the surface that's supporting you. So just notice that. Good. Now let's contrast that, compare that to the front places in your body. So you may be feeling air coming across your skin. You may notice your arms and your legs feel a little bit lighter in the front places of your body compared to the back places of the body where you're feeling weighted and supported, nice and grounded. Again, feeling grounded versus feeling very light in the body. And once again, feeling very weighted and very light. From here, we do what's called a body scan. I just ask you to pay attention to the places that I mentioned in your body. You'll repeat what I say in your brain, like I'll say big left thumb, and you'll say in your brain, big left thumb. And then maybe you'll visualize it or imagine all of your attention, all of your awareness going to your big left thumb. But you don't have to have your eyes open to imagine your thumb. Let's try that. So we're going to start from the toes and work ourselves up to the tip of the head. So I invite you to notice your big toes. So notice both the left and the right big toes. Good. Let's notice our pinky toes. From there, notice the top of the feet and the bottom of the feet, both at the same time, both on that right and that left-hand side. Nice. Let's shift our awareness, our attention up the body now. Let's notice the shins, the calves. So notice both the right and the left-hand side, both the front, lower legs, and into the back of the lower legs. Good. Notice your knee joints. Then notice both the front of the knees and the back of the knees, both on that left and right-hand side. And I invite you to notice the upper legs. So notice the front of the legs, the quadriceps, and the back of the legs, the hamstrings. Notice both the front and the back on that left and that right-hand side at the same time. From here, I invite you to notice your hip joints. Just notice what you notice. Shifting your attention a little bit more upward, notice your low belly and your low back at the same time. Let's shift our attention, our awareness to our navel center, to the kind of the mid portion of our back. Noticing both the front places and the back places at the same time. Good. Now let's shift our attention, our awareness to our heart center at the bottoms of the shoulder blades and the back side of the body. Notice both the front and the back at the same time. Then let's shift that attention to our shoulders. Let's bring it down to our upper arms, noticing both the front and the back of the upper arms, both on that right-hand side and that left-hand side. Noticing those elbow joints. And then let's shift our attention to our forearms, noticing the front and the back of the lower arms at the same time. Notice that left wrist. Notice the right and the left top of the hand and palm of the hand. Let's together notice our thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinky fingers. From our pinky fingers, let's shift our attention to our collarbone here at the base of the throat and the back of the neck, both at the same time. Shifting our attention upward a little bit, let's notice that jawline, that chin, the lower lip, the upper lip, the right nostril, the left nostril, the right eye, the left eye, and the forehead. Notice that forehead. And then let's shift our attention to the very top of our head, the crown of our head. Imagine there's this wide hole on the top of our head. And as we breathe in, we're bringing in this healing sunshine and it's saturating every cell in our body, all the way down to the tips of the toes. As we exhale, we're letting go of what no longer serves us. It's coming out the bottoms of our feet, coming out the back side of the body, just a little visualization there. And again, let's breathe in, bring in that healing sunshine. If there's an area of challenge, maybe bring a little bit more sunshine to that area than others. And again, as you exhale, let go of what no longer serves you today. Good. From here, I invite you to come back into the now, back into the present moment. So maybe just kind of wiggling the fingers a little bit, moving the wrists, maybe the toes up and down, heels up and down. If you're kind of really settled back in your chair, I invite you to scoot a little forwards to engage that tall posture and the knees a little bit wide. With the hands on the legs, let's do wide shoulder circles. We're being sweet and kind when we do this. Bring a little bit of movement back into the body, maybe engaging the core as you kind of go wide with your circle. Very good. And then let's pause and go the other direction. So here we go. Again, inviting a little bit of movement. If you so choose, some folks like to continue to go to sleep during this portion of class, and that's okay too. And then come up back to the center. Let's do a little seated cat-cow, or a little spinal cord breathing, but we won't do the arm part. So hand on the legs and curve your spine to the back of the room, that little seated cat pose. And then from here, slowly come out of that pelvic tilt to a tall seated mountain posture. And then we hinge forward, maybe elbows out, pressing forward in that forward fold or that cow version of our posture. And then go back up to that tall seated mountain. Let's do one more cat-cow. So this is kind of like Chair Tai Chi with a little splash of yoga. Yeah. It's a little cat back going on here. And slowly come out of your pelvic tilt. Go a little bit slower if it's spicy. Sometimes it's spicy. And then hinge forward for that cow, for that forward fold. Beautiful. And then come back to the center. Excellent. So what I like to do for our gratitude practice is invite you to place your hands either stacked or hands together here at the heart center. And then I invite you, for just showing up today, let's just drop our chin towards our chest, and gratitude is showing up today. And let's think about one thing that we're grateful for. But, I wanted to let y'all know that I'm just really impressed with your dedication, your determination, your discipline, and your responsibility for showing up for yourself, for coming to these classes. So thank you for registering. Thank you for attending today, or maybe watching the video. Again, I appreciate y'all stepping out of your, maybe your comfort zone and doing something a little different for you. Again, bring whatever you're grateful for into your heart space. Excellent. Then I invite you to have your eyes to gaze forward. So in Chair Tai Chi, we end our class as we began it. So we take that right fist, that's the sun, and that left palm on top, that's the moon. And then we give a bow to one another in gratitude of y'all just showing up, coming to class today. Thank you so much. So this concludes our practice of Chair Tai Chi. Let me stop the recording. Did I do it?